My digital class, and this is our last minute revision for set number F. And let's look at our first question here from MGS paper 1 question 14. In the figure below, a rectangular piece of paper was folded as shown. So because it is a rectangular piece of paper being folded, so I know it originally should looks like something like this. Yeah. Then here will be 90 degree, 90 degree, 90 degree, and the whole thing here will be 90 degree. Okay, let me just redraw this to make it nice. So it will be something like this. Okay, 90 degree. So I know the angle here and angle here will be the same because it's being folded. Okay, and given that the angle GHF is 48 degree, as you can see here, find angle FKH, which is here. Okay, now because I know that here is 90 degree, here is 48, so I know automatically here will be 42 degree. How? 180 degree minus 90 minus 48, so it's 42. Okay, and if I continue this line, I know here is 48 degree, and if here is 48, here is 90, I know here will be 42 degree, which is what I found just now. And if here is 42, here will be 42. And here would be, of course, the same thing, 180 minus 90 minus 42, it will be 48 degree. And since the angle here and the angle here are the same, and the total angle here will be 90, so what I can do is I will just use 90 minus 48 degree divided by 20, divided by 2, sorry. And the answer is 21 degree. Okay, so the answer is option number 1. Let's move on to our next question, which is from Pei Hua, paper 1, question 21. So here say that simplify. Simplify basically means you need to combine those that could be combined, okay, the same term. So 12e minus 4e plus 3e, I can combine, right? So 12e minus 4e plus 3e. Then the leftover is plus 10 minus 7, plus 10 minus 7. So 12e minus 4e, which is 8e, 8e plus 3e, which is 11e, and plus 10 minus 7, that is equal to 3. The answer is 11e plus 3. Now, next one, find the value of 4n plus 3n minus 7 divided by 2 when n is equal to 5. So this is basically evaluate. So you just need to put in n, 5 into all the n's. Okay, also here. And remember, 4n means 4 times n, not 4n only. Okay, so it'll be 4 times 5 plus 3 times 5 minus 7 divided by 2. So 4 times 5, that's 20. 3 times 5, that's 15. Minus 7 divided by 2. So 15 minus 7, that's equal to 8. 8 divided by 2, that's equal to 4. So the answer is 24. Okay, we are done with this. Let's move on to the next question. SGS paper 1, question 25. So here says that 30 students share a box equally. So there's total 30 students and 6 students give up their share. Okay? And their stickers were distributed equally to the rest of the students. Now, let's just try to find. I have 30 students. 6 decided to give up. So what is the rest of the students? 24. These are the rest of the students. And the rest of the students received 2 more stickers each. Each of them, of the rest of the students, received 2 more. So how many extra actually they being received? 24 times 2. So 48 extra that's been given out. And 48 extra, and this all of this 48 is actually from how many students? From that 6 students. So 48 I will divide by 6, then which is 8. Which means that all of them at first have 8 because they shared it equally. Then the process going on, then this is what happened. Okay, so the answer is actually 8 stickers they have at first. Okay, so this question is a very common question that we've seen it before a few times. Okay, so let's move on to the next question from Nanhua paper 2, question number 7. So of course there are many ways to solve this, but I decided to use slightly interesting method to solve this. So you can take a look. Okay, so in the hall, 70% of the children were boys. So I know that there's boys, and of course there will be girls, then it will be total, which is the children. So 70% of the children were boys, which means that 7 out of 10, 7 out of 10 will be boys. And of course, girl will be 3. And after 87 more children enter the hall, which means that I plus 87 here, which I actually don't know how many boys or how many girls. I know it's 87. So I just put here plus 87 under the total. So let me just put here U, basically means unit, so to avoid confusion. And the number of boys increased by 20%. So increased by 20%. And the number of girls increased by 50%. So let's try to take a look. 7 unit, what's the 20% of it? So if you simplify, you should get 1.4. So which means that here I also can say it's actually plus 1.4 unit plus 50%. So 3 unit plus times 50%. So I know it's actually 1.5. So I actually can say this is plus 1.5 unit. So now what is the total now supposed to be? 7 unit plus 1.4, 8.4 unit. 3 unit plus 1.5, 4.5 unit. And 10 unit plus 87, 10 unit plus 87. So 8.4 plus 4.5, that's actually 12.9 unit. And unit plus 87. So I'm just doing the normal math that move 10 unit to that side, it will be minus. So 12.9 unit minus 10 unit, that's actually equal to 2.9 unit, equal to 87. And 1 unit is equal to 87 divided by 2.9, 30. Okay. So you notice that what I'm trying to do is I'm just ignoring all the fact that there's a decimal. I'm just adding up together. Just do it logically without concerning it is decimal. Okay. But I'm not yet done. The question now asks, how many children were there in the hall in the end? Which is how many? 10 unit plus 87. Okay. So 10 units, so 10 times 30 plus 87. So it will be 300 plus 87, and the answer is 387. Okay, and we are done. Okay, let's move on to our next question, which is from page 1, paper 2, question 5. There's part A and part B. So let's look at part A first. Part A. Fang Min glue 8 1 cm cubes to form the solid below. So basically there are 8. She painted the whole solid, including the base. Okay, always there's a word called including the base. What is the total painted area? So of course, if you want to do, just imagine and try to add all the faces. So remember, this is 1 cm cube. So which means that this is a cube. Here is 1 cm, 1 cm, 1 cm. So even the area, the painted area, this will be 1 cm squared. So you just need to count how many faces that's being painted. Then that will be the answer. Okay? So just use your imagination and your spatial skills, try to get it, and you should get 32 cm squared, which is 32 painted. Okay? Part. So 1, 2, like this. Okay? So just move on. B. Bala is asked to build a solid figure using some unit cubes. The front, the side, and the top views of solid figures to be built are shown below. What is the least number? Again, using the least number of unit cubes, Bala needs to build the solid figure. So actually, this question is kind of tricky because they're giving you the front, side, top, and you ask you basically imagine based on that, and it must be least number. So of course, you require some thinking, and the answer after you thought of it, it should be 7. Okay, and how does it looks like if we want to really build a model with 7 unit cubes? It will be something like this. Let me just draw here. Oops. Maybe something like this. Here I have 3. Like this. Okay, I'm not drawing it nicely, but imagine that 1, 2, 3, 4, at the bottom 5, here 6, and here this part. Okay, just imagine that you can see through it. Here will be one more. So there'll be 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And you try to compare front wheel in this way, side wheel from, okay, front wheel is from here. Let me just draw here. Front wheel from here, side wheel from here, and top wheel from the front. Okay, top wheel is always from the front. Then you'll see it's exactly something like this. Okay, and a common mistake that a lot of students will make is probably put 8 because they will usually draw one more here. Yeah, which is actually not supposed to because they're asking for the least number. Okay, so that will be the uh, wheel of the solids. Okay, let's move on to the next question, which is from MGS paper 2 question 17. Now, this question I would say is actually kind of different from what we have learned, the usual way that we have learned. So it's a good question to think about it. So at a bakery, cupcakes are sold in the boxes of 4, as you can see, 4 for 210, and 3 at the price shown below, tarts. Okay? And Mrs. Lee spent a total of 203 on some cupcakes and tarts at the bakery. She repacks them onto trays such that there are 3 cupcakes and 5 tarts on each tray for a party. How many tarts did she buy from the bakery? So the very important part that you should think of is that one tray, okay, this is cupcakes, this is tarts. They are supposed to be in a ratio of 3 to 5. So basically, I mean the number of cookies, like a number of cupcakes or tarts. So for example, here 3, here 5. If I have one more tray, it will be 6, 10. So it will be always the ratio of 3 to 5. Okay, as long as no matter how many it increases, it should be always in the ratio of 3 to 5. Okay. And however, cupcakes supposed to be in 4, means that it should be a multiple of 4. Okay. And again, this is 3. It's supposed to be in a multiple of 3. But I can't use times 4 times 3 because it will affect each other because it's a ratio. So what I could do to make sure it's exactly nice, there will be no leftover. And what I supposed to do is to make sure 4 and 3, I can find the LCM. So what is the LCM of 4 and 3? LCM of 4 and 3, you know, is 12. That's why what I would choose to do, or what we should choose to do, is to times 12 to make sure that it will be a multiple of 4 at the same time multiple of 3. So that it's easier, okay? So here will be 36 and here will be 60. And now with this, we can try to solve this. Cupcakes is 4 for 210. Tarts is for 3 for 160. So 4, how to become 36? Okay, let me just show this. For how to become 36? This one. I know it's times 9, so I times 9 here. 3, how to become 60? Times 20, so I times 20. So it will be exactly what, according to the tray, okay? So it will be 36 to, just press on the calculator, you should get 18.90 cents. Then here will be 60, which is $32. And from here, you know that, oh, this is the thing. And of course, 36 and 60 is not the exact cupcakes or boxes that he needs to buy. No. That is just a lowest common multiple, the minimum that we can actually have. But we are given this total 203.60 cents, which means that we can try to add together first and see whether is it 203. If it is exactly the same amount, means that would be exactly the number of boxes. So let's try 32 plus 80.90. Okay, and you found that it's actually only 50 and 90. $50.90, which is not this. So we divide 203.60 divide by 50.90 to find out how many times of this will be the exact amount. And you notice it's actually 4, which means that we need to have all this value times 4, then it will be the exact number that we want to find. Okay, this is actually very similar to what we have learned far long ago, okay, in booklet number 4. So how many tarts did she buy? Tarts is which one? Tarts is this, okay? Again, 4 times of this value. So the answer will be 60 times 4, and the answer will be 240. And we are done for this question. Okay, again, for those of you that have in my lesson, you should know this is booklet number 4. And this is what I call it as what for what. Okay, what for what. But again, this is a special case. So let's move on to our next question, which is from Nanhua, paper 2, question 13. Okay, so here says that Tim had 2/3 as much as money as Peter. So we know that this is Tim, this is Peter, and the ratio of what they have is 2 to 3. Now, Tim received 120 from his mother, so plus 120. And Peter used 120, so minus 120. Now, Tim had twice as much money as Peter. So how much money did Tim have at first? So again, if you are in my lesson, you should know by now, this is a concept called unchanged total. Why? Because you see, Tim, one side plus 120, another side minus 120. So the total actually does not affect. Their total actually is not affected. So their total, so 2 plus 3 is actually 5, 2 plus 1 is equal to 3. This 5 and this 3 are supposed to be the same because what they add and what they go away, take away is actually the same. So 5 and 3, what is the LCM of 5 and 3? So as you know again is 15. So 5 u times 3, u times 3, u times 3, 3 u times 5, u times 5, u times 5. So now what's the latest or the new ratio? 6, 9, 15, here will be 10, 5, 15. And now you can actually try to compare. 6 unit become 10 unit. Increase by how many unit? Increase by 4 unit. Okay, makes sense, right? And you can see here, the same thing. 9 decrease to become 5 unit. Decrease by how many unit? By 4 unit. And again, that 4 unit is still referring to 120. So 4 unit is equal to 120. So 1 unit will be equal to 30. But now the question now asks, how much money did Tim have at first? Tim have at first. So how many? 6. Again, we are supposed to use new ratio. Okay, use a new ratio that we found. So 30 times 6, and the answer is 180. So when you write the answer, please don't forget to put the dollars. Okay, and we are done for this worksheet or this last minute revision for set F. So a very important reminder again, please go through this question very carefully. A lot of this question we have learned, but sometimes they are just being put in a different way that confuse you, okay? So that's all from our video, and let's move on to our set number G in the next video. Thank you. We'll see you. Bye-bye.